Hello everyone, hope you're doing fantastic and welcome for this first post-COVID edition of the Shinra Show. Yep, take a good look at this team. You see it? Want to see how it happened? Stay tuned. I'll give you everything from the breakdown of the builds to the strategy I used during the fight and to how we got this pretty cool result. Okay, so credit where credit is due. First time I've seen this team run was on a Murder Inc. video, and it inspired me to retry it myself on my account because I am one of those people who don't have a Krisk, who don't have a Tuhanarak. That's a story for another day, preferably. I'll prefer not to talk about my 2X Void. So this is the team. Geomancer in the lead. Godseeker Aniri, who's a God Sent. Lord Shamford. This is our budget Krisk. In many ways, actually. He's kind of more fun to run than a Krisk, but yeah, definitely not on the same level. Our damage dealer, AoE max HP nuker Husk. We have here the let's say, synergy engine of the comp that allows us to take as many turns as we can. So in Shamael, everybody knows him, everybody knows what his passive does. If you don't know, his passive automatically cleanses any fear or true fear on your party and also offers a speed boost or a turn meter boost to the leader of your comp. So in this case, we'll keep on boosting our Geomancer. Lydia for the speed boost, for all the nice buffs, for the block debuffs occasionally when needed, and more importantly for her passive also, which counterattacks whenever somebody is affected with Fear, True Fear, or a bunch of other debuffs. So between these two, counterattacking constantly and filling Geomancer's turn meter, we are able to do some pretty cool things. Now, onto the build. So Geomancer is in 2 sets of perception and 1 set of speed. Try to make him reasonably fast and reasonably tanky while have enough accuracy to land the debuff. So 375 4 is plenty. I'd like to have him a little bit more resistant, but this was actually a pretty quickly done build. Here I have him in 1 refresh accessory so that I could get the cooldown as often as possible for his burn attack specifically. For the masteries, yeah, I didn't show you those. Basically support tree and offense tree with War Master. So this is just to guarantee to have a little bit more accuracy, basically. I would actually change him to deterrence on the defense tree because I don't get a lot of benefits from this tree. But yeah, this is how it's built at the moment. I have Godseeker Neri in regen and Immortal. Nothing special here except high HP, pretty decent defense at 3k, but she tanks pretty fine. Good speed, 266. You can make her faster if you want, and the rest has no importance whatsoever. You could build accuracy to help with the decrease duration of buffs against the Hydra. That could be a nice thing if you could spare the gear, but ideally she has to be in regen and immortal to help with the heals. Lord Champfort, here you could build him in a number of ways. Build him in a lifesteal, build him in regen, or do as I did, build him in precision and speed with 363 accuracy, which seemed to be enough to land the debuffs pretty much always. High resistance, close to 500 if you can, because the strategy here is to have him as your lightning rod for the Head of Mischief. The Head of Mischief always steals buffs from the champion with the most buffs. In this case, it should be Champfort, because he will take many turns. His passive places a shield on him. So yeah, he will get that off cooldown very often. He will always have the most buffs. And when Mischief tries to steal his buffs, it will just chip a tooth on his high resistance. My boy here, Husk. Yeah, I just forgot how to talk again. So Husk has very high HP, pretty decent speed, perfect crit rate, and 234 crit damage. I could add a little bit more, but it wouldn't change a lot. If you want, you could give him resistance if you can spare anything, but basically have him in one set of Immortal for the HP boost and a Relentless so that he could down and nuke. Lydia is in a mixed set, so trying to keep her resistance and accuracy high while maintaining speed and some HP, so that's your basic stuff. Again, pretty much the masteries are very similar on everyone. Quiz to Shamael, this one is in regen, so that I didn't want to worry too much about how his health was. You could also build him in damage, but you should be careful about his output so that he doesn't kill the Torment Head too quickly. These are the builds. The masteries are very similar between champions. So classic Reviver mastery with War Master, pretty much on everyone. Damfort, I think I gave him something similar as well, so that he could, lasting gift, so that he could have his shield be cast for more turns. And a boost in HP. This guy, same thing. I could put him in defense 3 if I wanted to, but this works. Doesn't really need the accuracy, it's just 3. Lydia, easing deterrence to maximize her counterattacks. And our boy Shamael, I think, does he even have masteries? And 0 masteries on the Shamael. This is what might have cost me the 1 key. Right, so this was the description of the team. Let's jump right into the description of the fight itself. Okay, so jumping right in. This was the fight. I will just comment for the first few minutes, then I will leave it to time lapse so that you don't have to have me talk all through it. It was pretty fun actually. So this is the starting lineup. So it's very important to keep track of each one of the heads because you will be doing a lot of micromanagement using this method. Unfortunately, I did not want to try it on auto, although it could technically be autoed. I prefer to do it on manual, sure, maximum results. I did get a very, very lucky respawn of heads, and we'll come back to that later. So what I try to do in the beginning is place the Geomancer Burn on the Wrath head, just to start benefiting from his counterattacks, from his reflect damage as soon as possible. Then the rest is just going through the motion, placing every debuff I have on hand on the whole roster of heads, nuking with Husk here, and then rinsing and repeating. Things I pay attention to are, for instance, as the counter on the Wrath head will go up, because plenty of counterattacks from Geomancer will contribute to that, as well as the occasional hits the others. So you want to have a block buffs debuff on him, which you can place with array 3 before the counter reaches 15. The reason is he places on himself a reflect damage plus a block debuffs when he counterattacks. So you want to be ready for that. As soon as you do it, you can then start placing the burns on the different heads, going through every single one, maybe except Torment for the first few turns, so that he can have a little bit more health to spare, because you will be hitting Torment quite exclusively throughout the whole fight. So as you're hitting him, as you can see here, I call it the fear engine starts pumping turn meter into Geomancer, and so on and so forth. Actually still pretty cheap and pretty exploitable. So yeah, the damage, I try to make sure to be at around between 7 and 10 million by turn 12. Ideally more if things go the right way. So there are several things that could affect your damage. For instance, the cooldown reduction from the refresh accessories and the relentless set on Husk. That could lead him to nuke multiple times, which is always good. You always also need to pay attention to whether or not this debuff here, Toxic Cloud, is in place. It can be placed by the leftmost head. I think it's Head of Light. So whenever the Toxic Cloud is on, you want at least 3 of these head except Torment to have a burn on, so that any damage you output does the actual value and is not registered as a weak hit. So in a couple of turns here, or a couple of actions, we will see a Wrath counterattacking, and you will see how much damage that will do in total. I could provoke him, but I chose not to because I knew that Geomancer would take a next turn, so I could land in a little bit more damage while waiting for that to happen. All right. So we're at 3,973,000 damage before the counterattack. Let's say 4 million here. The amount should happen any second now. Yeah, it will happen with this nuke. Most definitely. I was considering whether or not I want to provoke. I was also checking how many turns I had left before this guy's devoured. So yeah, here they're still going through the shenanigans of the fear counterattacks, but as soon as that will be processed. Oh, actually, it already triggered. Already triggered at 14 because you see here you see here the what's it called, the mega wrath buff that he gets, so that his damage ramps up to 300%. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Put it in the comment section because I can't be bothered to go check the attacks myself. So yeah, it's already there. It means that we were in effect over the 15 hit counter. For some reason there's a visual bug and it still sticks frozen here. Right, so the rest of the fight will be pretty much similar. I will start freestyling towards the end when I will get those pesky heads like DK and the other head that cleanses. I don't remember the name. So these bad heads, we will get them towards the end of the run, but between now and then it's just works like clockwork, basically, for lack of a better term. Alright, so I will leave you with how the comp is faring. We'll do a quick time lapse, then we'll come back for the final thoughts. Enjoy!
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone. It's so cold outside. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down, I fight. Even when I don't know what is right, I'ma pick a side and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.
Okay, and this is how we got here. I'm pretty proud of this team. Could it have achieved more damage? Definitely. I could have gone to the required 36.1 million for a 1 key with the same luck lineup that we've seen during the time lapse. I would have maybe put Inquisitor Shamael in damage to get a little bit more out of him. I could have done the same for Godseeker Near because she hits hard. So between these two, 2 million is conceivable. I'm actually happy with it, as I said, not disappointed. It's all right. I'll be able to use my other keys more efficiently to help my clanmates. And more importantly, I'm pretty proud of this damage given the fact that I don't have this guy here, nor this girl here, which would have made things much, much easier. Like my clanmate E-Daddy. Ethan, you're slacking. 3 key in Ultra Nightmare. I know you're capable of 1 key in it. Maybe you're trying some shenanigans. Be careful. Careful, man. You're costing your clan damage. You could have put that into Brutal. Like E-Daddy here showing off. Actually, I could build this comp. This is amazing. Next target is 1 key in Brutal. I'll do that. Nightmare, I shouldn't forget that I'm not yet at my top chest, so I will have to dump a key here, unfortunately. I'll make sure to try to maximize my damage. So how do I go about this thing? I have a certain number of teams preset. So this is the one that we've just seen in action. I have an alternative here. Some people might say that Duchess and Shamael are redundant. I would say not really, not necessarily, because she's not here to veil, she's here to revive, provide those continuous heal buffs whenever he does. So, discussable. We can talk about it in a separate video if you like it. This was more of a throwaway comp for hard, I think. I don't like it that much, but yeah, I do have Royal Guards build. I do have 3 Shamaels build, 1 at level 50, 2 at level 60. I do have also an army of Geomancers. I have 3 Geomancers, 1 for each team. So now I'm hooked on this guy. I'm pretty sure there will be many rotations where he will not be as effective, or if at all, well, he still have plenty of utility. But having 3 of him, yeah, I think for me, it was the right course of action, because if I didn't build them right away, I would end up regretting it. Right, these are just some normal cheese, as I call it here. This is just cheese normal, because, yeah, she does tons of damage. On normal, Kyoko is also a good champion to have. She does a lot. Cordial is fantastic for this rotation. Does pretty much all the Godseeker and Near does with a little bonus. He's a little safer than him, but he's awesome. Venus, yeah, didn't end up using her much, but all right. So these are my teams. I will not go through the presets because I'm still working through those. I'm not sure exactly which would be optimal. And definitely, I think that even if you come up with good presets, you would still need to micromanage here and there to make things run smoothly. Okay, so that was it for today's video. Thank you very much for following and for staying faithful through these hard times. And yeah, so if you have any questions regarding the comp, regarding the stats, leave me a question in the comment section below. I'll be happy for it. If you have suggestions, or if you have also comps of your own to show off and maybe suggest I build, I would be also inclined to do that if the comp is interested. Okay, so that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you when I see you. Cheers.